attached to my Skookum case, and that, like, unreal. But you know, like, going back to the cutting tool, you know, a lot of guys just miss is getting that square back on the knife,
sharpening the back
right?
edge.
Like getting that square back, because that makes all the difference in the world for that big gobby fireball, you know, coming off 3,000 degrees.
Well, and that squared back does the harvest other materials too. It helps strip your willow bark so before you process it to make cordage, or if you're going to scrape the back of a red osier dogwood to get into the inner bark for tobaccos and medicines. Like, it's amazing what that squared back does, because, I mean, your cutting edge obviously is for cutting, not for scraping or using it on a ferro rod.
There was one of the students, don't remember who, but they took their knife and pounded it into the tree, and you know, there's guys up there, why would you pound that into the tree? Well, you know what? You're on a course. That's where you abuse knives. That's where you find out what they can take. But anyway, he pounded into the tree with the square side up, and he was able, when we're, you know, like when we start stripping out material for our Roy Craft, you know, snowshoes. Notice I said Roy Craft, because I know there's a lot of guys out there that go Roy Croft. It's wrong. It's wrong. This is a pet peeve of mine. There's guys I've had arguments with on the, you know, the World Wide Web, the internets, right? That argue with me that it's Roy Croft, and you know, they're not convinced. But hey, buddies, I've met Tom Roycraft. I've got him to sign my Roycraft pack frame.
Get it out while you can.
Yeah, it's with this platform, I'm just letting you know it's Roycraft. That has an A, not an O. Okay, sorry.
Well,
glad you got for a second.
Glad you got that out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, stripping the material off the spruce tree, they were just taking it and dragging it across that squared back. It was just peeling it. I was like, man, they're processing, like they're just going.
And not messing their edge.
No, it was cool. It was cool to see, like, you know, like Kelly always talks about that 4 skill of bushcraft. Somebody was like, hey, you taught me this, and then I'm gonna do this, and this is what I got now. I love that. I love seeing when somebody, you know, is on the other guy's shoulders of knowledge. They give him, here's this nug of information, and then they've taken it, polished it up, changed it a little bit, and they've made it that little bit better and produced something a little bit cooler.
Well, before we bore the heck out of everyone on this podcast, let's move along for what we think the next couple pieces are.
Well, you know, one of the things just to kind of like you should have to augment your clothing is some overhead protection, right? Tarp. Right? You look at like the things you can do with your Tarpology 101. There's so many different configs you can do with a tarp if you know camping origami. You can fold stuff up and you make little tents. You know, you can make shelters block the wind. You could, you know, if you got a couple people, you know, like in search and rescue world, rigging up a tarp so that you're able to shelter your subject in case you have to go into long-term patient care, right? So use as a wilderness first aider instructor now.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's super important to be able to put that up, right? Block the wind, just blocking that wind and being able to get a little bit of heat in there. So that's crucial. And
getting out of the wind, it does change the game.
Yeah, it does. So overhead protection, if it's raining, you can still have a little fire underneath that tarp. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. I'd rather have a big tarp than a big tent. It's just going to be able to do way more
style. Yeah.
So other things I like to do to bring with me, 100% is a pot. Right? You could, you
overlooked, isn't it?
It processes your water. It gathers stuff. You can put materials in it. You can use it as a digging, you know, with a chisel stick in a pot. Like this, the stuff you can do with a pot, it blows your mind. Because being able to process water is huge, and being able to carry water in that manner, heat it and boil it, you know, to kill any bacterias in it.
Well, those rules are 40 days without food, but only 4 days without water. So
you want to get that hydration. You know, those are the 3 things that Moore's preaches, right? Maintain that core body temperature, hydrate, and sleep.
Yep.
You want to fight exposure, those 3 things, and you're laughing. And then, obviously, last one, you know, it's hard to make your Canadian jam knots or your constrictor knots without the materials that brought us into the space age. One of them is paracord. 550 200-7.
God, we're
mil
just
spec.
a bunch of snobs when it comes to rope. We like our paracord. We're so versatile. You can't.
There's so much you can do with it. There's so much, and you can tie that jam knot. With crushing pressure, you can make a constrictor that the only way you're taking it off is with a knife.
Yeah.
But it holds things together. I don't have a box full of screws and a drill to put things together out in the bush, so I make do with paracord.
Yeah.
And one of the things with a little bit of knowledge of some solid bush knots, well then you can take that paracord and you're not wasteful. I've seen like guys do lashings, like there's enough rope to put up a clothesline kind of deal around one lashing. Yep. So you don't need to do that.
No, you bet. I love the constrictor knot. I have basically a calling card I leave at every camp, and that's the big fire tongs.
Yeah.
It's like my gift to the camp, and it's those 3 constrictor knots along the top.
Yeah, and it's such a nice little tool.
Yeah.
It's so simple to make, and it makes everybody's life so much better at camp.
Better, safer, more convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John, we're going to wrap this up here. For those people that are listening that are interested in search and rescue, where can people go so they can get involved in search and rescue? What kind of avenues should they pursue?
So super simple websites. You could here in Alberta, you can search search and rescue Alberta website, and in there they have a map of all the different regions and areas and teams, and finding a team close to you. And that's basically for us here in Cold Lake. You get a hold of us through the website. I'll get an email, or you can give me a call, or just go to the RCMP station here in Cold Lake and fill an application, and you get a high reliability background check done, and start coming out and become a committed member.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for those people that are interested in following you, because you're highly active in many, many different avenues, how can people follow you and plug into you?
Well, I'm kind of a floater with a bunch of different schools, so I kind of get out and do instructing all over the place. But easy to find me is Boreal _search and rescue on Instagram, or Jonathan MacArthur on Facebook. Right? And I'm easy to find. Yeah, also, you can get a hold of me through our website, www.coldlakesar.ca, and then there's a contact us and president right there, president@coldlakesar.ca, and I can talk to anybody. So
awesome. Well, thanks, brother. That's
right.
podcast 1, and it's been a pleasure.
Podcast 1.
All right.
I wish you luck on your journey into the podcast world.
Yeah, well, if as fun as this one, it should be easy.
Yeah, right on.
All right.